Most Black Sabbath fans consider Sabotage as the last iconic record of the classic era lineup. Though it contains many of the progressive elements of their prior album, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, in terms of arrangement and instrumentation, it is a decidedly heavier affair than its 1973 predecessor. This time around, the band wanted to pare down their arrangements a bit and go in more direct, heavier approach for what would be their sixth album in exactly as many years. Sabotage would be recorded at Morton Studios in Willesden, North London in February and March of 1975 and issued later that year, produced essentially by guitarist Tony Iommi and engineer Mike Butcher.
Tony and Mike Butcher, y'all ears are incredible. The guitar work on here is so crazy, and I love the way it's engineered. It's really in your face. It's exactly what he's saying. You know, it's exactly what he said.
Before arriving at Morgan's studio, writing and rehearsal took place at Fields Farm and at lead singer Ozzy Osbourne's house. Though hampered by legal battles, the band persevered and created arguably one of the best records of their entire career and maybe the first progressive metal album.
All the prog rock people, you know, prog metal, who's been around since this came out, because I know I have those kind of subscribers. Is this the first? Do y'all agree? Let me know in the comment. Do y'all agree? I don't know. I wasn't there. Ozzy.
Ironically, to tell Sabotage's tale, we have to first discuss how the band themselves were sabotaged by management. The main characters are Jim Simpson, a club promoter in Sabbath's native Birmingham, England, and the band's first real manager, Patrick Meehan, an up-and-coming manager and the son of Patrick Meehan Sr., who was a more established manager, Wilf Pine, a local henchman and right-hand man to Don Arden. Don Arden, heavyweight manager, connected to the Mafia, current employer of Pine, and former employer of Meehan's father. It's June 1970.
So it really started with Don because his son took on what he does and so forth, the lineage, but he's the head. Yeah.
Sabbath's first album is on the British music charts, and soon they'll be following it up with their second album, Paranoid. By most indicators, Sabbath was on its way up, but current manager Jim Simpson wasn't getting them paid for gigs like other similar bands. In particular, a band called Black Widow, managed by Patrick Meehan Jr., was getting double what Sabbath made for gigs, even though Widow was not charting or selling records. Before Sabbath's debut album had exploded, Simpson had booked concerts at a much lower rate and would not cancel or renegotiate the originally agreed upon price. Iommi said, "It was getting silly. Even the people who ran the clubs we played were going, 'You should be getting more than this. What are you doing playing here?'" Knowing of Sabbath's potential financial success and their unhappiness with the way they were being managed, Don Arden decided to make a play to take them from Simpson. Known as the Godfather of Rock and Mr. Big, Arden started out doing stand-up comedy and was particularly known for his impressions of mobsters. In the 60s, he went on to sign and manage Gene Vincent and later the Small Faces. Around this time, Arden was also known to leverage a small group of well-muscled friends to intimidate others to see things his way. One example of his license to threaten potential opponents took place back before Led Zeppelin had formed, when Jimmy Page and Keith Moon were putting together a band. Page and Moon reached out to Small Faces singer Steve Marriott to see if he might want to join them. The minute Marriott's manager, Don Arden, found out, he sent Page a very clear message. "How would you like to play in a band with broken fingers?"
How would you like? You think he about to come over here? You really think he about to just come over here and just play for y'all band like that? Yeah. How would you like to?
Marriott stayed with the Small Faces, and Page went on with his fingers intact.
Yeah. I was just like,
In 1970,
break
Arden
those
put his
jewels.
plan into
What you
motion
got?
and sent his right-hand man, Wilf Pine, to pick up the band and bring them back to his office. During the meeting, Arden painted a great future but came on too strong when he asked them to sign with his label during their first meeting. Iommi said about the meeting, "We just couldn't do that. It was all too bombarding. So we came away thinking, oh God, what are we going to do now? They'll probably have us killed." He kept getting in touch with us, arranging to take us out to dinner and all that sort of business. He never let go. Then one day, Wilf got in touch and he said, "I've got another guy that wants to meet you." This other guy was Patrick Meehan Jr., and after meeting with him, Tony said he seemed a lot calmer than Arden and said things that we wanted to hear. He just had the right way about it at the time.
So, the right person came in, swoop, groom him, buddy. Hey, other dude was too aggressive. Don got his partner that's straight off the block. He just gave him a gig. So you ain't get the person who really been doing this, a real manager who knows how to say it, when to say it, the right way to say it. Boom, got him.